Alright guys, a special segment for us today. We've been waiting for this. The Premier League's finally taken a leaf out of the NBA's book and decided to have a Hall of Fame, a Premier League Hall of Fame.
Big.
It states the Premier League launched Hall of Fame to recognise and celebrate exceptional skills and talent of players who have graced the competition since 1999. Now back before 1992. Sorry, thanks for that correction. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Now we have a quote from the CEO of the Premier League.
Oh yeah?
Didn't even know we had a CEO in the Premier League, but okay. And he says this league is reserved for the very best. This Hall of Fame is reserved for the very best. So before you start naming nonsense, before you start naming rubbish, because I know you're gonna. I've got all your defense. I've lined it up. I've got everything. I'm ready for you. Yeah.
You already know.
I'm ready for you.
God.
It's reserved for the very best. Now, before we do this special episode, we're gonna weigh up. There's a lot of parameters that you're gonna use to judge. So first and foremost, longevity, what you've won, amplitude of your peak. Do you get? And I could say all round talent level.
Okay.
Should we? No, let's not. Yes, talent level.
I mean,
do you get what I'm trying to say? So we've got longevity. How long you did it for? How long you were here and how long you did it at the top for? Your peak, how big the peak was, what you won in the Prem, what you did, and how many moments you left the Premier League. Do you say we've covered all the areas? What else?
Yeah. I think that's it.
And now it also states to be eligible, you must be retired. You must be retired, and only your Premier League career is considered.
Okay.
So everything you did in FA Cup, Carling Cup, and Champions League is out. So it only inducts 2 people on the 19th of March. And then others will come after. But yeah, so Grant, who's your first person you'd induct? And the first person is an honour.
It's an honour.
It's an honour.
Yes. Only two go in the first.
But the first person.
Does Ismaila Sarr still have time to retire?
The thing is, if Ismaila Sarr retires before the 19th, he has to go first.
He has to go first.
For what he did against
I
Liverpool.
can't lie, he's going first. To drop.
But let's move
to drop a clinic on Van Dijk and them guys.
Yeah.
I put him in first. But if he hasn't retired by then, if he hasn't unfortunately retired by then, I guess we have to. It only makes sense to go first ballot, like the first choice. It has to be the most decorated person in Premier League history. It has to be the most decorated person in Premier League history, which is Ryan Giggs.
Alright.
That's the.
So I knew this is where you start off, and I was.
Hey, I don't make the. Listen to the parameter. Listen to the parameter that you just said.
Point. Yeah, go on then.
We're talking about trophies.
Yeah.
13 Premier League titles.
Okay, go on.
Key member in all of those squads.
Yeah. So
we're talking about
longevity.
We're talking about goals. 100 club for got Premier League goals. He's joined that. 100 club for Premier League assists. He's joined that. Grant. We're talking about the most decorated player in Premier League.
Okay, so what we have on Giggs now, why Giggs is in this conversation, he's not first, he's in this conversation, is because of longevity, and he was in the Man United team that won 13 Premier Leagues, that he was there throughout the 13 Premier Leagues. Okay, but if we break this down and go to other parameters, so we've got what you've won and how long you there. How high was Giggs' peak?
Very high.
What was the peak season?
I'm not gonna go by peak season, but his peak across. From 1992 to what? When he slowed down around, he had a bad season 2003, but he slowed down, let's say around 2007, changed to centre midfielder. But what he was doing in the Premier League, he was destroying players. If you want to, we can use the stats. Obviously, the stats don't look as impressive.
They don't look impressive. They're awful.
They're not awful though.
They're awful. They're awful.
But you look at that.
Stats are coming on Wayne Routledge.
You use the Wayne Routledge. We're comparing Ryan Giggs to Wayne Routledge.
Is that
where we're at?
Yeah, that's where we're at. I could get Walcott stats right now.
You can get Walcott stats. You get Walcott stats. They might be better. Was Walcott a better player than Giggs?
No, definitely not.
Then we go.
Now we're
gonna start using the eye test. He's already said Walcott stats are better than Giggs.
No. You've
already said Walcott stats are better than Giggs. Then I asked you directly, was Walcott a better player than Giggs?
No, he wasn't.
And you said no. So now let's start using the eye test. Let's start using common sense. Let's start using common sense when we're assessing these players now.
But I'm saying, don't talk to me. Don't say like his stats were like his stats. They weren't good.
They were good stats.
Alright, let me get. How many appearances does Giggs have?
Huh?
How many appearances does Giggs have?
I can't remember.
632
in the Premier League.
Yeah, 60. He has the highest appearances in the Premier League.
So
And then he has no, it's Giggs. Giggs has the highest. And then goals, I think 109 and 600 and what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What,
Yeah.
1 in 6. No, 1 in 6. That's right.
Less than 1 in 6, but
less than 1 in 6.
yeah, less than 1 in 6, which is in the seasons that people say he had his best season, which people say like treble winning season.
Don't think that was
He
one.
got 3 goals and 1 assist.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Okay. His highest scoring season was 1994 with 13 goals.
Okay.
Second highest was 96 with 11 goals.
But if you look at, or when we're talking about pure wingers, they weren't really achieving like it was very much front men that were getting your goal.
Facts.
Like we're not talking about modern day wingers like your Cristiano Ronaldo's, your Raheem Sterling's in the Premier League who could get you their
Was
20.
Beckham a modern winger?
Not really. He was like an old school winger.
Old school winger as well.
Yeah.
So should I get you Beckham stats up?
What's
Because they're a
Beckham?
lot better than Giggs.
What Beckham's get?
Pause the video, please.
No.
Let me get my laptop.
Because
Let me get my laptop. Pause the video. It's on my laptop. I'm going to
why?
all here.
You couldn't fit it all
Because I've
here.
got scores and stats, and scores is better than Giggs. Scores is centre mid.
Okay.
So get my laptop, please, Jim. See, this is the pamming you want.
This is
the pamming you want.
This is exactly what you want. You want to go away from his impact in terms of longevity.
No, wait.
but
You know why I'm partly trolling as well, because with history, if you weren't in the moment, and it seems like Giggs' peaks were before we started watching football,
Yeah.
within the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
All you have is, aside from Premier League years, is you have stats and you
And
have
highlights.
You have stats and highlights. He has some good highlights against Arsenal.
But
We know this, but I understand what you're trying to say. But I don't believe he should be first.
He has to be first, though.
I don't believe he
has
should be
to be
first.
first.
I don't believe he should be first.
He should be first. You haven't said you should
Thierry
be first.
Henry. Henry's the
Why?
best because he's the best player that's ever played in the league. He is the best player that's ever played in the league.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so
I don't disagree
right,
with
so
that.
and then it's a balance in terms of longevity. He did about 7 years in the Prem, which is long enough. Cool.
8 years. Actually.
8 years in the Prem. Thanks, Jim. He did about 8 years in the Prem, which is long enough. He won more or less everything you can win in the Prem. Everything you can win, obviously, it's just Premier League. Sorry, he's won the Prem. What else? He's won Player of the Year twice. Won Golden Boot. Obviously,
4 times.
4 times. Giggs won 2 Player of the Months. Giggs won 2 Player of the No, let's be real. Because we're saying let's not use stats, so let's X out goals and assists, yeah? What rewards the eye is the performance, or is like the player awards you win. So not Golden Boot because that's more stats. So it's like Player of the Month or Player of the Year.
Yeah.
In a 22-year season with 632 appearances, you won 2 Player of the Months. You're not going first. You're not going first.
I'm not gonna. He won the PFA Player of the Year, but that was
Pity.
PFA.
a pity one.
Yeah, that's a pity thing. I'm talking about the real.
No, he won the real one, like the 2009, the real PFA Player of the
It
Year.
was Pete.
Was it Football Writers?
No, it was a real PFA Player of the Year.
Alright, that's not the real thing though.
It was the real thing.
In 2009, Ronaldo won Player of the Year.
He won in 2008.
No, it's Giggs. It was Giggs.
It was Giggs.
But
shouldn't
you know
do
why
that.
he
It was
gave it
very
to
well.
him?
It's not officially on the Premier League website, so we're not using that.
It's there.
No,
If we get the
It's
Premier League
there.
if we get the Premier
It
League
is
website,
there.
if we get
It
the
is-
Premier League
see,
website up.
This is why I
if we
don't
get
like
the
talking
Premier-
to Chef.
if we
Yeah,
get
you
the
made
Premier
some. You
League-
made up his own rules for these
Yeah,
things.
no.
You made up
If
his
you
own
get the
rules.
Premier League website up, it says Giggs' personal awards, 2 Players of the Month.
He won PFA Player of the Year in 2009.
There's
Obviously,
several Players of the Years, you know. There's several types of Players of
Nah,
the
he
Year.
But it was
He won,
PFA Player of
he
the
won.
Year that he won.
Cool.
But at the end of
Was
the
he
day,
best in 2009?
No, he wasn't.
Politics. So it's void. Because I'm trying to figure out teams, politics. Did he even play like? What, you mad? Wait, what? Wait, I just deeped it. 2009. 2009. No.
All we have to accept here.
But I said Henry.
I'm like Henry 1 and 2. Henry.
No, don't say 2. Have
Because-
some respect.
Huh?
Have some respect.
I'm putting Giggs because you put the most decorated player first.
No, you don't.
You do.
You don't have to.
That's the easiest way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it.
That's-
Because best player, people say there'll be some people that tell you Shearer was the best player that played in the Premier League. It's not unanimous that Henry, even though for me it should be unanimous, Henry is the best player that played in the
And
Premier
for
League.
a Man United fan to say that, it's bait.
It's bait,
Henry,
but
it's
it's not
bait.
unanimous. People will tell you Ronaldo. People
So
will
you're
tell
saying
you
because of
Shearer.
his clear cut, that's why he gigs. That's a
Like-
very good point.
It's like
But my rebuttal to that is you won 2 Premier League. You won Player of the Month twice in a 22-year season. I'm not having it. I'm not having
It's
it.
not it's not about what you're having. It's about what's right in front of you. You
Who's
see
your
13.
second? Who's your second?
Thierry Henry.
Giggs should never in any competition be. Henry should never in any competition be second to Giggs. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, what's peak is I don't even know whether Henry's gonna get second, but get the second position.
Because he's French.
Not even that. Shearer is the top scorer in the Premier League.
So we're just gonna
That's
give it
gonna
to
hold
outrights.
The way we don't.
Because for me, my second was
Shearer.
Shearer.
My
second was Shearer.
The second was Shearer.
Yeah, it was Henry and Shearer.
From the parameters that you set, he won the Premier League, Premier League's top goal scorer. It's looking like it could be him. Like,
why I said Shearer? Shearer's another balanced one in terms of peaks, in terms of what you've won, in terms of longevity, and at points in the. And when I mean peaks, I mean like obviously it's just including what you've done in your Premier League career. But when I mean peaks, is were you the best or one of the best in that position in the Premier League in the world? And I can't answer that. I can't say yes to Giggs or that.
I can't say yes to Giggs for that either, obviously, because it was before my time. Really.
And even with what you know, he wasn't.
Why'd you say that?
Because every year there was always someone that was better than him in the world.
Who?
Which year?
In the 90s to early 2000s.
When Rivaldo and his man were there.
But he was like Giggs was popping back then as well. He was popping back. See, this is what I mean when I say people play down Giggs' impact. Even like just because the numbers aren't there, you saw like when you watch his highlights.
What you need to always remember with a lot of people in our generation, all we can use is numbers and awards because we weren't.
No, we can use more. We can use more. We can use more.
I didn't want to make that about Giggs, but you had to make me take it.
From the parameters that you've set, it's just like I'm telling you how it's gonna be. Like it's obvious Giggs is gonna be first ballot. He's gonna get in there first, or get in there in the 1 or 2 position. It's only whether Henry or Shearer is gonna join him. Those are the two most logical.
I'm saying Henry and I just don't think you can have Giggs first in terms. Okay, you've won. All right, go on then. So you're saying Giggs and Shearer. All right, so let's do.
How many did Gary Neville win?
I think that
11. Scholes is 11, so I think Gary Neville will be around 10 or 11 as well. Yeah. But no, don't.
No, I was just curious. I was just curious.
Because you lot are provoking me now. You lot are saying duds.
Neville will get in there.
You grew up on Neville though.
He'll get in there.
That's your favourite player. Alright, cool. For me, this is what my point was. The first Man United player to win, that should win because he has the perfect balance as well. And all the
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
It's
I'm not mad at that.
If Rooney was retired, I would have said him before Giggs.
Yeah.
Because Rooney was one of the best strikers in the world.
Best player.
One of the best players the Prem scene. One of the best strikers the Prem scene. Carried the team several seasons. What's it called? Won the Premier League ample times. Golden Boot. Everything.
What year did he win the Golden Boot?
Was it the 12-13 season?
No, I think it was 10. No,
it was 10 and 11. The year he was going to leave and he argued with Fergie.
Oh,
and he stayed. Yeah. So, won the Golden Boot and proven, but he's still playing, so he's void. Other shouts. Who else have you got? Because I've got a list of other players who can fill up the list eventually.
Who else have I got here? Pogba, Raphael, Mortskamp, Pedersen. It's like some real Premier League legends over here. Shemi, why are you looking like that? I'm never going to look up. Why are you looking like that, Shemi? What?
Raphael. Pogba.
Yeah.
Alright, you're not allowed to talk. It's just a one-man club. It's a one-man club. I've got Rooney, I've got Frank, I've got... Firstly, let me just get this... Okay, yeah. To make up the top 10, I've got Rooney, Frank, Giggs, Andy Cole's in there, JT's in there. Beckham's stats are mad.
Yeah.
Compared to how much he actually did in the Prem. He actually was doing a bit. Beckham should be somewhere in it. Vieira's in there, Scholes in there, Gareth Barry's in there. Notice, all you Liverpool fans, everybody I've named now has won. Now, once we've done the first 10, so man like Gerrard can come in there.
You know what's so mad about Gerrard's got the best stats of all the midfielders.
Yeah, no.
He does.
But the main parameter.
If you're gonna say championship,
the main parameter, we're judging your Premier League career. The main parameter, you won niche.
That's right.
You won niche in the Prem. If not, Gerrard would be up there.
He got again after the Gareth Barrys, the James
Milner.
Yeah.
After them, man.
What, James Milner? After James Milner.
If you were talking Liverpool player, then Milner's to be the first on the list. Before Gerrard. Because he's won. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He's a winner.
You get it.
Yeah, ever since Milner came, that's when they started winning stuff again. Notice that. Notice the correlation. Boom.
I like it, man.
So then, and obviously, in that next 10, the City man, just because they have to pay.
They have to
pay their dues. No.
The 30s and 40s. They gotta pay homage to what came before them.
Okay.
They gotta pay homage.
Okay.
What City getting in before some of the Premier League teams of the 2000s.
But so we've got the first 10. These are the bad boys, the winners. The world class players, so the ones we named, the Franks, the JTs, a couple of the older gen, the Vieiras and all these man, Scholes, all these man. Cool. Then we have the 10 to the 20 bracket. The good Liverpool players.
The Gerrards, the Payets.
The
People have made that sort of impact on the Premier League.
It's a Payet, don't you ever? Stop, you're getting me mad. So that's it. That's been a good episode. Premier League Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man. We wait. Was it March 19th?
Move.
Hey guys! Thanks for watching The Final Third.
For more football analysis or sports content,
please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Final Third.
Or follow us on Twitter @TheFinalThird_.